Hello, this is Leon. Welcome back to Leon's Bible. You're very, very welcome as we proceed with look both ways. Everybody can look to the left, right, up, and down. And that is a miracle in itself. So let's look both ways. And today is day 4. I know I have been silent for a couple of days since I recorded my last video in day 3, but he's still good and I am here right now. And let's get straight to the point. Look both ways. Those weeds are only draining you, taking away your energy. It's not the end. Those weeds are not the end of you. Let's see at Matthew 13, verse 24 to 30. It says that Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of God is like this. A man sowed a good seed in a field. One night, when everyone was asleep, an enemy came and sowed seeds among the wheat and went away. When the plants grew and the ears of the corn began to form, then the weeds showed up. The man's servant came to him and said, "Sir, it was a good seed you sowed in your field. Where did the weeds come from?" "It was some enemy who did this," he answered. "Do you want us to go and pull out the weeds?" They asked. "No," he answered, "because as you gather the weeds, you might pull out some of the wheat along with them. Let the wheat and the weeds grow both together until harvest. Then I will tell the harvest workers to pull up the weeds first, tie them in bundles and burn them, and then to gather in the wheat and put it in my barn." So we have learned a pretty good lesson in this parable of weeds, but let's speak first of the qualities of weeds. Weeds tend to grow very fast than the seeds sown. And why do they grow fast? They only grow fast to blind us, to see that our efforts, the seed we sown, the circumstances we're passing through, there is no way out, there is no solution, but only weeds. And weeds tend to look very similar to the seed sown. They look very similar with just minor differences to differentiate the wheat and the corn and even other types of crops. Why does the enemy do that? He does that to distract us, to bring us out of our position. For a person who is illiterate will actually think that the wheat is the corn and not the corn is the wheat. So let not the circumstances distract you. But at the end of the parable, we see that despite how much the weeds grow faster, how much similar they look, they tend to bear nothing. We tend to reap nothing when we put ourselves in the world of weeds. They bear no fruits. But at the end of the day, we realize that no matter how much the weeds blind us, distract us, grow faster, and even look similar, they can never destroy what God has planted. The wheat will grow, and it will grow very well, though it will be condensed because the weeds tend to grow faster, but it cannot eliminate what God has planted. So we learn that despite the circumstances, those weeds are only draining you. It is not your end. In the midst of all that, there is good. Look both ways. So our God tends to turn the bad for the good. He always does that. Despite how things are, the bad is always the good to him. His intentions are always good. Their bad intention towards us, for him, is just a reshaping and a molding situation. If it does not kill you, it makes you stronger. Everybody knows the saying. If it does not kill you, it makes you stronger. So the weeds can kill you. They're just making you stronger. They're only reshaping you. They're only molding you. Look both ways. The power is in our hands. The power is always in our hands. We can see at Matthew 15:13, it says that every plant which my Father in heaven did not plant will be pulled out. And who pulls it out? It is you and me. It is our responsibility. It is our power. It is in our hands. The power and authority is ours to get rid of all those weeds along God's plantation. Or it's also our choice to let it swallow us, because when weeds tend to grow very fast, sadly, sometimes even the crops cannot be seen well. Brethren, we should learn to look both ways despite what is happening, despite the troubles, despite what is going on in your life. We should know that power belongs to us. And in either ways, God is still good and his ways are excellent. His plans for you are great. In between all of that, there is something you have achieved. There is something you have gained. There is an add up. There is always something in the mid of that depression. There is always something in the mid of that toxic relationship. There is always something in the mid of those failure of plans, bucket list. There is always something in the mid of all those failures, in the midst of all those disappointment. There is something in the mid of all those breakout and depression lockings. There is something and so much more. There is always something. God always makes things better. His plans are always better than ours, better than our expectation, better than our goals. We should know that he always makes things better. So, brethren, look both ways. Today I'll be having part A and B in this day 4, and this is part A because I have been silent a lot for this couple of days. So this is part A. I love you guys. Stay tuned for part B in this day 4.